Hi, Demi. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, everyone. This is Dehmie Dehmlow. Nice to meet you. Coming at us from Philly, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm at the clay studio right now as a resident. So
Yeah. So that's awesome. How long's your residency there?
it's 3 years. The program is 3 years. Yeah. And I got here in September. So
You got lots of time. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Colorado,
Okay.
but before this, I was in Lawrence, Kansas. I did a residency at Lawrence Art Center. Lawrence is actually really cool.
Okay. Lawrence, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Colorado?
Like Denver area, but kind of, let's see, southeast Denver. So it's like almost Littleton if you're familiar with that area.
Yeah. Yep. So are you a skier then? A snowboarder?
Yeah, I have 5 siblings, and my twin brother and I snowboard. Everybody else in the family skis.
Oh, you guys are the black sheep.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna snowboard.
That's hilarious. You have 5 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're doing 3 years at so the Clay Studio Phillies. I've heard amazing things. Who else is there?
My gosh. So many. So I'm across from Jeremiah Ibarra.
Yes, I met him.
And then there's Micah, guest appearance by Micah.
Hi, Micah. Hey, what's up? How you doing, buddy?
Good, nice to see you
Yeah,
again.
good to see you. Speaking of people making really cool stuff, your stuff looks great these days. I'll see you at Ensika. Absolutely. Yeah, I met Micah at Ensika. Yeah, that's cool. And then Jeremiah, I met at Flower City a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. What a good show. What an amazing thing to be a part of. That was kind of freaked me out, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no, he was telling me about who all was there and seems pretty amazing. I was so excited that he got to hang out with Mary Behringer, because wasn't she?
Mary Metzger, Mary Behringer, yeah, was right next to him, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, she makes really cool stuff.
I love Mary. She's great.
Yeah, what a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there, sorry, the plastic's probably loud.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just to be on that or to be invited to that, to me was mind blowing as a self-taught potter
Mhm.
who I just make what I make, I don't, did you did you get a BFA, go to school anywhere? Or?
Yeah, I went to Colorado State. Oh, sorry. Just real quick, so I'm not forgetting anybody. On the
Yeah, who else is there?
website, there's they have it. It's actually organized really cool. They have like a list of all the residents. So if anybody wants to go on there and look at that, they have the past ones too. The other people on this side is Michael Dika. He makes really cool stuff. A lot of it's not clay, and a lot of it's raw clay too. He'll like rub shoe polish and stuff on his
Very cool.
clay, and yeah. And then Day, oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting Day's last name. Day Lim. And so Day and Micah both are doing a lot of slip casting, and they're across from each other, so that's cool. And
That's
then
cool.
Sujin is still here,
Uh-huh.
so pretty awesome. And then Celia Feldsberg, who she makes red clay pots too, with all these really cool little creatures on them. And then
neat.
who's next? And then Robert.
Yeah. Yep. Who am I forgetting?
Yeah. And then Yanina is down on the end over there too.
Uh-huh.
She's here, which is really cool because seeing her, well, I mean, everybody seeing the little video is so cool. And then Bradford, he is actually having a show coming up here soon too that I can't tell you the details off my head, but if you go to the Clay Studio and his website, he has it all up there.
Okay.
And then the last person is Nicholas. My God, I'm just forgetting everybody's last name. But he does some figurative stuff, and he's making these huge masks right now.
Neat.
Yeah. So anyways, there you go. That's
It's
everybody.
fun to be surrounded by that many talented people and doing all sorts of different things. I mean,
Mhm.
to me, I'll walk by somebody doing something totally different, and it'll just give me an idea for my work. I
Yeah.
like to keep myself surrounded by pieces. I have a collection going in here. I got
Yeah.
paintings. I got stuff. I got drawings from Sam Chumley, and just every day. That gives me a cool idea.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like, I don't know. I think I learned pretty fast that this is kind of my ideal environment is, obviously having your own space where you can, I mean, I'm kind of like my life and studio exists in piles, it's just
Yeah,
got,
yeah.
and so I like having my own space for sure. So I can, leave piles or organize things how I want, but getting to work next to a bunch of people and not just be like totally alone in
Yeah.
tower somewhere. It's just, yeah, it's really amazing. I feel super lucky.
It's interesting. I think I know my work changed a lot as soon as I got my own space,
Mm,
and only because I can leave a mess.
yeah,
And also with it being in my house, I can go upstairs and have a sandwich when something's got to dry and
yeah,
I'm too ADHD to actually leave it alone. I have to leave the building, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I go do stuff and then I come back later when it's leather hard and I can mess with it.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably one of the hardest things when when we're learning, but also just in general, is like the various kind of ways patience plays out with
Yeah.
needing to, yeah, like,
I do that when I teach workshops. I'll roll out a slab and cut some pieces, and then I tell people, I'm like, now let's go for a walk. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, you got to leave those slabs for 2 hours until you can barely bend them. You know
that's,
what I mean?
yeah.
If you're gonna mess with them when they're floppy, it's never gonna work. So just yeah, roll it out, leave it, come back later.
That's a good idea to make people like physically actually go and take a walk or leave this. Same thing. I'm always like, okay, so after you do that, don't touch it for a while and your life will be a lot easier. And it's so hard. It's like people
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, it sure is. And it's also really hard to teach a workshop like that. You're like, okay, let's come back tomorrow.
true. Yeah.
They're like, wait, I paid to learn stuff. Yeah, you did. We're gonna leave that in a damp box and we're gonna come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you're building with stiff slabs too sometimes because that's one of the ways I like to like build things a lot, honestly. And I feel like sometimes when I talk about that, or I've had people where I'm, like, showing them how stiff the clay is when I'm working with it, and they're like, "My god," and it's like, "Yeah, you gotta wait till if you bend that slab, it's just cracking. You gotta."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to make like a square type of box and like you see the walls that kind of they curve in because they never let them dry enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I turned into a hand builder 5 6 years ago. I was obsessed with the wheel for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the difficulty of it, and the fun of it. It's fun throwing on a wheel.
Mhm.
Now I just throw bowls. I'll just throw like I just do like salad bowls.
Nice, yeah. Those are nice. I love those.
Yeah, I'm going nuts on this kind of crazy color.
Yeah, I well, I've always loved your pots,
Like,
and, yeah, I like all the colors lately. It's exciting.
thank you. And I just got sponsored by Speedball. There's some kind of crazy mugs.
No way. That's cool.
Yeah, sponsored by Speedball. Actually, they're sponsoring the podcasts.
Oh, cool.
Them and Liquid Quartz. I was going to talk to you about this. I don't know if you've ever used this stuff.
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude, I got to get you some of this.
Yeah, that looks magical.
It is the secret to everything. Like this bowl here, I
Yeah.
coated this morning,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Because I want to keep the decoration on the inside of that bowl. And if I put a clear glaze over it, it completely changes it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ruins it. So this liquid quartz is food safe and everything. And I can put it on there and now I can pour water and it just beads right off.
Wow.
And I brush it on with a brush. This is it right here. I got some in there. It's just
Oh my
clear.
gosh. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know this existed. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's very cool stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's one thing. I mean, I'm like barely glazing my pots, like I have most of my stuff right now is in bone dry stage, but I tried to find a few things around that were glazed, but
Yeah.
stuff like a mug, I'm glazing the inside.
Yep.
But with my, plates and even bowls, honestly, like just this right here, that's glaze. Everything else is washes or stitch.
Yep.
And it's partially for that reason. I really like having those different textures of the materials underneath and colors show up more than, I mean, layering glazes on top of that stuff is great too, but I like for a lot of that to come through and it's hard, even with a clear.
Yeah, I actually have written on my list here to ask you, like, what do you put on the inside of your bowls? Because you might like this liquid quartz.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm the same way with stuff. I'll glaze the interior and I leave the exterior.
Yeah.
I like it better.
Mhm.
You know what I've grown to like? Actually, my wife even says she can't drink out of a normal mug anymore because when you have a little bit of texture,
Yeah.
you're not going to drop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more of a grip on my hand, I feel like.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to swap a mug later. At the
Yes.
sink. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
my gosh, I would love that.
Hell yeah, that'd be great. I gotta come to Philly too. I come down there every year. I got a buddy and I play golf in Philly. I gotta come see you guys.
Yeah, come by. There's all sorts of exciting stuff happening here. This and I don't know, have you been to this building before?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's huge. It's
Is
four
it?
stories. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You
But
got all types of kilns there and stuff?
yeah, I mean it's mostly electric kilns, but there's two kiln rooms. So that's kind of nice. So there's one that's really kind of dedicated to like the schools, what they call it, which is all the classes that are run here.
Mm-hmm.
There's one on the floor, the resident floor. So, and then there's, some gas kilns, and then one of them they've been doing some soda firings in. So, which this studio is actually Cone 6 primarily, which is cool, like for the classes, which is kind of cool because that's what I'm working at mid range. So it's kind of fun getting to like, I don't know, show them a little bit more closely, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to mess with this mic so I don't have to keep.
Well, that's okay. Hopefully it's not.
I gotta email them again. I gotta figure something out. It goes and then I gotta turn it off and back on.
Oh, weird.
How about your volume? Is your volume up on your
Yeah,
phone?
do you here, let's see. Oh, on my how do I check that? Let's see. I think it's up.
How about where it says mic on the bottom?
Yeah.
What if you click on that? Does it just mute you?
Yeah, it just mutes me. But over on the side, that little slider,
Uh-huh.
it's it looks like it's all the way up.
I don't know. Well, I'll mess with it later.
Okay. But just get closer and talk louder if I
So anyway,
well, we're not sure if it's that or if it's something
I'm
hidden.
pretty sure it's the software because it did it on the last one.
That's Brad. Yeah,
Hi,
we
Brad.
Here I am.
Hey, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, there's the right rooms upstairs.
oh
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. I think it, but I'll mess with it later. I got to call them again too and say, why is this doing this? But is what it is.
there's
I'll
always
just keep muting it.
weird things with, video calls and yeah.
Yeah. My first episode, actually, last year, episode 1 was a Zoom call. I did a Zoom, and
Yeah.
then the horrors of trying to get the Zoom over to like Instagram was like,
Oh, really?
oh my God, it was impossible. And then so in the process of trying to figure that out, I found this Riverside software and I'm in love with it. It's just great.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice and simple. I'm not very good at, computers, anything,
Yeah.
you know.
It's funny. I tell people, I'm like, just click on the link I sent you. It'll bring you right to me.
Yep.
Easy
Yeah.
peasy.
No, I appreciated that.
So are you married? You got a partner? Got any kids? You got a dog? What's the dog's name?
Hadley,
Hadley?
he's over here
Is
actually.
he over there? Yeah. My bad. Where's my buddy?
I dropped some plastic and he's laying on it, but Hadley's he's sleeping.
He's out.
He's got a couch. I don't know. Let's see if you can see it right there.
That's awesome. My dog does the same thing. I'll put out the dog bed and then she lays on the cold floor right next to the dog bed.
Well, I'm sure the concrete feels kind of nice
Yeah.
sometimes. And he does like to lay in this hallway so he can see if anybody else, any friends are coming, you know?
We have a Sheltie. It's like a small collie,
Yeah.
but she's got such a big coat of fur. Like she looks big, but she's really skinny.
Yeah.
She just barks at the door like, let me out. And I went out there this morning to shovel the walkway and I look over and she's laying against the house and she's got like an inch of snow on her.
My God.
I'm like, get inside. She likes it.
Funny. I know he loves the snow too because he's German Shepherd and cattle dog. So he's got an insane undercoat and is probably hot all of the time.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Demi, is Demi short for anything?
So it's actually short for my last name. So it's kind of funny. Now everybody you'll know, and whoever watches this will know the secret. But legal name is actually Catherine. And
Catherine, gotcha.
so I grew up going by Katie, and even I remember in middle school, whatever, high school, that there were so many Katies or Kates, Caitlins, even other Catherines. Let's see, it was when I started college, and in my ceramics class, my pottery classes, which, they're not that big. It's like
Yeah.
however many students in that, college students in that class. And then even my friend group outside of school, there was, I think there was another Katie, and I think a Kate and maybe like a Caitlin or something in my ceramics class. And so we all started going by our last names. And then I just started doing that in my friend group because it was the same thing. For a while there was 3 Katies in the group of friends that I used to hang out with a lot. Anyways, Dehmlow turned into Demi, and that was in like 2010 when I started undergrad. So like I really like it. I definitely I prefer Demi, but my family still calls me Katie because it's like I grew up as Katie, and yeah.
Well, good to know. Well, my last name's Griffin, and everyone called me Griff my whole life, until 20 years ago. I had to be 35 for them to stop calling me that.
That's funny.
What nationality is Dehmlow? Is that like French or Belgian? What is that?
It's actually German.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty far back. I'm not sure how much I can really claim that I'm German or that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you working on right there? You got a dish?
Yeah, I've been like just playing around with so all of these kind of shapes I'm putting in my surface design.
Yep.
I like to kind of think about making the pot, those shapes. There's like a little gap there in this.
Yeah. I love that orange. Is that a glaze or is that a terracige?
This is a Sidge. This is actually from grad school. A piece I made in grad school that I kept because I really liked it. And this was what is it? That Saturn orange, I think, stain at cone 5. Because I was yeah. It's interesting how I'm sure you run into this with all the colors you're doing, but that one cone difference with some of them, like even just 5 to 6, it's crazy. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What's weird for me is I can't get a green terracige to work.
Yeah, yeah. I actually that's funny because I really want like a lime green
Yeah. Yeah.
Sage. So soon here, maybe I was hoping to try to get one of those tests done before the holidays, but it's crazy. So that'll probably be one of the first things I do in the new year. I had a sage that I was using for a while that was like I used the avocado stain.
Yeah.
It's a more kind of mossy or almost browny greenish,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's true. The green's tricky sometimes.
I actually have the avocado. Yeah, I don't know why it burns off. It's the strangest thing.
Really?
Yeah, it just comes out like tan. Just
Oh, I guess I was using it at low fire when I was doing that. That's why.
yeah.
Not mid range. You're right.
Well, what I do now is I'll just mix the color I want with some speedball and
Yeah.
just get the green out of that. The problem is, I mean, as you know, is terracige gives such a different little soft feel. Like I got this white going,
Oh, nice. Ooh,
and
that's pretty.
it's really soft looking, isn't it? I
Yeah.
really like that kind of.
It looks buttery.
Yes, it does. It's just I'm kind of in love with it. So it's funny. I was just talking to the last artist about that. How the piece you're working on is already informing the next couple of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I love that feeling when I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do that. And like I have a couple of bowls over there on the table that I'm already ready to do this on.
Yeah.
Like, hurry up and dry.
Yeah.
Do you have to put your terracige on bone dry?
Yeah, I always put it on bone dry. I feel like with, thicker stuff, I would probably be totally fine to put it on when it's not all the way bone dry.
Yep.
Or like, when it's totally leather hard, that's fine. The only time I've run into issues is if like things like mugs that are maybe a little bit thinner of a slab, if they're not all the way bone dry, like they're close, but then still like, I don't know, the bottom has a tiny bit of moisture in it.
Yep.
If you go to dip it in the sage, it's like it dunks, it'll just kind of snap.
Yeah, that's what mine does. It cracks.
Oh, yeah. So I've just kind of learned, over the years what things can
It's
handle.
funny. No, yeah, exactly. No matter how many times I've done that and known that it's going to do that, I still did it last week.
No. Yeah,
A genius.
it's okay. It happened.
It's like blowing things up in the kiln.
Yep.
Really, dude? Oh my god! I was just telling my buddy this morning. Her elements went, and I said, "Well, I have a spare set. If you need them, let me know." But I have 337 firings on those elements. Isn't that
Whoa.
crazy?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I thought so too. My buddy Mike says, I'd say you got about 20 more.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang, that's impressive. Yeah.
Well, I think when you don't use a lot of glaze, there's less,
Mm,
maybe there's less crap in the atmosphere in there. I don't know. That's a
yeah.
question for a smarter person than me.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. Me too.
Yeah, I'm a,
Thanks, Phil. Because there is a lot of stuff that burns out.
I love how thick that slab is right there too.
Yeah, it's chunky. So I have made a few of these, which are basically, it's almost like I'm building it solid and then carving the shape
Yeah,
out.
like you dug it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing it that way, and then I realized, like, oh, what if when the slab is still soft, I actually do most of the shaping? Because I was also adding on a coil to get that really, really thick. And then I realized I could do that cut the shape when the slab is soft and scrape out most of that clay. And then I can kind of bend up this edge.
Yeah.
And so, like, slightly less time consuming than just scraping it all out.
Yeah. Yeah.
These ones I had already built, so it's
Isn't it funny how you develop your style over years of trying it a bunch of different ways?
yeah,
That's kind of cool how each person has their own style by how they got to where they're at.
it's true. Yeah.
For instance, I was geeking out last night down your Instagram to do all my questions,
Yeah.
and I was looking at, was it your thesis show with
Yeah.
sculptures? Those were was it I will something, what was the name of the show?
It's the one that so my thesis show was called Bricolage, and that one didn't have any of the banners, the things with text.
What
So
was the other one? Because I wrote it down and I didn't.
I'm still here.
Yes, that's it. That one. The one with the big cement thing. That was really cool. I love that piece. But
Yeah.
it was cool to me that like the fabric pieces you had on the wall are kind of the same shapes you cut out of clay.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is I just started cutting those shapes. And then of course it's like, oh yep, there it is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They look like states to me,
Yeah,
right?
I had a lot of people tell me that, where they'd be
That's
like,
cool.
"Oh, is this supposed to look like
Like
Oklahoma?"
Kansas. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to, sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Call it whatever you want. Yeah. That's like when I make a jar, like, I like to toe the line between functionality and kind of sculptural.
Yeah,
And, it works in my mind, but people will see that, and they'll be like, so what are you going to put in that thing? I said, you can put whatever you want in it once you buy it. I don't care. I
yeah,
love making these little,
yeah, I love that.
thanks. I think I'm going to get
It's great because that key mimics the handle.
yes.
Mm.
You know what I'm messing with? These is the Mako stroking coats. I don't
Oh
know if
my
you played
gosh,
with those yet.
yes, I use them.
Dude, they're fun.
So like all the dots on
Yeah.
my stuff, um, and then like this one is got them in a more of a pattern kind of. This little ewer. So yeah, all those dots are the stroke and coat.
That's a badass piece. I love that little piece. Let me see that one again. The little ewer.
This one is from the so that I'm Still Here show you just mentioned
Yeah.
was the show I did at the end of the residency I did right after grad school in Utica, New York, actually.
Okay.
at Pratt Munson, it was called. It's like a little art school,
Yep.
like a kind of sister campus to Pratt actually in Brooklyn. But and then this one was from the exit show I did in the residency in Lawrence, and I just loved it too much. I put it in the show, but I had to keep it because I just think it's kind of funny and
Yeah, no, I'm in love with it. How'd you make that long spout? Just a coiled up a coil?
yeah, it's like a cannoli. Like I roll out a really thin slab. And then that was the thing I started doing more in Lawrence was adding all the texture. So I have all these little,
Yeah, yeah, I have that.
which I bought these, you could totally make them, these are the kind that are supposed to with that little handle. And
Yeah,
I actually use these to like attach stuff. So like here's a foot to my plate. So I'll take these kinds of
yeah.
things and just like roll them along uh
Oh
foil
yeah, that's genius.
tab to just kind of smush it.
You know, I make some. I used to just carve into them and then cut them out because I
Yeah,
wanted to keep it really organic. And
yeah.
then I had somebody on the show the other day, and her tip. At the end we do a tip, and she was like, my tip is use whatever damn tool you want. You want to use a Cricut printer, use it. Just
Mm-hmm.
make your stuff your way. People, I thought for a while that, it wasn't cool to use like a man-made
Yeah.
stamp roller. I wanted to make my own rollers, but, why? Just making it harder.
I really love that that's become, I don't know. I just remember even, being in undergrad and even after undergrad, there was kind of I just remember feeling a lot of that pressure of like what you can and can't do or what is or isn't considered good in
Yeah.
making pots. And I love that that's kind of true for all of us, but as you work longer in the field and just getting comfortable with maybe yourself as a maker. And even just, I think it's also just because of this community and people out there like you and whoever you just said that I forget now that said that, but I love that I just think that that mentality is so good and so open and so welcoming. Be like, yeah, like whatever your ideas are, just do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to qualify it in this.
No. Yeah. You don't have to explain it to anybody.
Yeah,
you know, how'd you make that? I made it the way I made it.
yeah.
Yeah. Bless you. So what do you like making more? Do you like functional or sculptural?
Oh, I really love both. I think part of the reason I have always liked your work so much is I think it's similar for me. I like sort of skirting that line of sculptural or
Yeah.
functional work. And sometimes I joke that like all my pots are a sculpture or a painting, just like in the shape of a pot, you know? Because I'm making like even things like this, it's like, well, I mean, I'm not sure that this thing's primary concern is like being used in
Yeah.
a sort of maybe like everyday kind of.
Sure. Yeah, but it's totally functional.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I think that once when I got to grad school, it really felt like I was trying to cram all these ideas and all these things I was excited about into the shape of a pot, right? And then I just kind of started spreading out basically and started making the sculpture and doing a lot of woodworking and papercrete stuff, which is basically like paper mache but concrete instead.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it was just like everything could breathe. Like I could have, things like plates and stuff do one thing and then make a sculpture that did another. And I think from that, it really allowed me to just kind of have some more fun with the way I was building my pots
Yeah.
and I don't know if that makes sense, but not feeling like everything I made had to tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
like
I
I
mean,
kind of have some things emphasize one idea or maybe one set of sort of visual qualities. And then like even with this, it's like this is really all about that kind of weight of the clay and that thick rim and just kind of that movement. Whereas, like this mug it's different, right? It's like,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I made a couple of bowls like this last year that were like, I was kind of messing around. These were more like a glaze test than anything else. And I, fired them, saved them, and then we put them in the cabinet. And the kids love them. They're like the
Yeah.
perfect little size ice cream thing.
Yeah.
And who knew? I mean, whatever. Now I know not to make the lips so sharp because this one's all chipped up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I have a couple of these kind of mugs that same thing. I like had to kind of learn like either I need to let the glaze just come over whatever,
Yeah.
even quarter inch, or up at this edge, just make sure the sidge is really thin so it's not as like I don't know, as much of an edge there to like catch on stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, because you can kind of see it. It's also that corner is chipped.
Yeah. I started doing these kind of fatter inner rims.
Yeah, I love those. It's
So
nice.
this way it's kind of like it holds the color inside a little bit, but also the sipping part is more on the inside than the outside.
Mhm. They were those I love that shape for lips. That's neat.
Yeah.
Do you know Kenyon Hansen's stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I have one of his pieces right over there, actually. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like the first time I saw him at his lips in that real thick angle, kind of like yours, I was like, oh my God, see? It's just one of those things where sometimes when you see something, it gives you permission to be like, oh, okay, so I can make a lip that's
Yeah.
3/4 of an
Yeah.
inch,
Yeah.
like, you know?
You know who does a really big, thick lip, and the lip goes like almost an inch down into the mug is Chris Long. Have you seen Chris's
Oh,
work?
yeah, yes. Actually, yeah, I have one of his like really colorful pieces.
Yeah. 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 Yep. He's a cool dude. I enjoy Chris a lot. I met him at Ensika. He was a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only met him, like, briefly, like, yeah, he seemed really yeah, really, really cool and really laid back.
Super talented. He's literally like a rock star.
Yeah, definitely.
He plays drums in this band called The Hikes. They're really good.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize it till I listened to it, and I saw him the next day. I said, "Hey, man, you really are you are a rock star."
That's yeah,
I keep muting this thing.
yeah, it's giving me trouble.
I saw your flower bricks too. Those are insane.
The one that has the little grid on the top?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are definitely like, that's a sculpture, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't make them super often or, as often as maybe other
Yep.
stuff. But stuff like that, I'm sorry, I wish I had one in here or like a picture I could hold on. But stuff
No,
like that has, you know, all these different components and is really kind of taking up space in a kind of very undefined way. It's like that's totally is a store. I don't know if it's like that for you, but it's like this opportunity to just build something, and just kind of put parts together and
yeah.
play with the proportions and all of that, which I think that's another thing with lidded stuff too.
Hmm.
You can kind of, yeah, like finials or handles, knobs, all that is just like, oh, this is an opportunity for a sculpture.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love making jars because to me they're just purely functional.
Yeah.
Jars and just bowls. Just bowls. I mean, you can always use a bowl.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to make more bowls because I have forms that are bowl like, but I just, I like to make things complicated. And so, sometimes I'm trying to also remember like, okay, I can make simple forms too. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's so tough, right? Because I think you have to make what sells.
yeah, it's smart. Yeah, it's true.
Like I'm very lucky I don't have to do this for a living. I have a job.
Yeah.
Um, I would like to sell more pieces, but that's not my end goal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then I get, galleries that say send us more stuff. I'm like, ah, crap.
Yeah.
Like I just made like 20 something mugs, and
Yeah.
I'm not a production guy. I admire those people that sit down and throw 60 mugs.
I know, right?
Good Lord.
No, I'm with you. I was actually going to ask about that because think that's my biggest bag too, is I spend so long on my pieces and on my work, which, it's like you love it and you hate it, right? Because I love it because it's what I love to do, and also because once you get things out of the kiln and they turn out the way you want, it's like, oh my God, it was all worth it. But man, in the process, and when you have those deadlines, it's just like, dude, this cannot keep taking this. And like, I gotta, like,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's hard. It really is. Yeah, I don't know.
I can do probably 8 mugs at a time.
Yeah.
If I do more than that, that starts to piss me off.
Well, that's good to know though. That's one thing right now I'm working on is how do I find really kind of, I don't know if tangible is the right way, maybe pragmatic is the right word, like ways to make certain ways to make this more sustainable. And like that's a really good example. Like, okay, making a kind of not necessarily a rule, but just sort of knowing like, okay, for mugs, like I can only do this big of a batch at a time, or else I'm gonna hate it and go crazy. And then it's like, that's just making you resent the studio a little bit.
Yeah, which is the last thing you want as an artist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think it's important to have those things.
Well, and also, people they say, well, why are you charging $75 for a mug? It's because I only make 8 at a time. And every single one of them is one of a kind. Like I'm never, I make them I make them so they look the same because I like a line of them.
Yeah,
None of them are the same.
exactly. Well, and I mean, they're beautiful, and I do think I don't know. One thing that really excites me is, I mean, in general, when you're looking at something handmade, but especially, I think work that has a lot of layers or maybe a lot of detail.
Yeah.
I do think that we connect to how long or the process of someone making that thing in a different way, like,
Yep.
well, wow, this person spent however many hours, days with this thing, with this object, to make it. And yeah, I really like that. That's something I've been actually thinking about a lot this past week. It's a good reminder when I start to get frustrated about how long things take. And it's like, well, but I also find a lot of value in that because it's like, I would love it if people, let's say, get a piece of mine or even just get to interact with one and they're reminded like, hey, you deserve to be surrounded by and interacting with beautiful things. Like,
Yeah.
you deserve to feel like there's these special things being made like for you to see or have. Even if, and I mean that in kind of a general sense,
Yeah. And it's also something you put your heart into
Yeah.
that somebody's holding.
Yeah. And it's like, I think there's something for me, it's like, well, I would really love for that to speak to this idea of like, hey, no, like each person on earth also has value and like,
Yeah.
it's you're worth the time of whatever it takes to spend and look at a beautiful thing and also to make it, right? So I don't know. I think I have to remind myself of these things, especially during the crazy last 3 months of the year and deadlines. It's just like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah. I forgot
yeah.
who I was telling on the show that the other day. Like I'm excited to be invited into some of these shows. Like people said, well, you want to be in this show? Yes. I go, yes. And then I go, shit, I gotta make pieces for that.
That's me too. I should show you real quick my calendar.
Wait, let's see.
Look at this crazy situation I have over here.
My goodness.
So it's like sorry, it's probably kind of hard to read, but this is like a list. Wait, no, that one of all of the like deadline and what I need to send and by when. And then a lot of them they asked like, oh, hey, we need an image or we need an updated bio. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to remember to send you that if I don't put it in like 8 different places. So, and then this one is I need to kind of redesign this guy, but this is like my bisque kiln days and which kiln I signed out, other notes. So I started doing that because it just made me feel like it's almost like fake it till you make it. Like, okay, I pretend like I'm organized. It's like if I because sometimes it's just so hard. You're trying to hold all that stuff in your head.
Yeah.
So I have a spreadsheet on my phone on, whatever, Google Sheets. So I can, when I update it, I can see it on my computer and all that. And then I was like, well, I could just start printing that. But I have found like for things like that, like, okay, well, if I make it kind of like, sounds silly, but a little art project where if I make it fun, like getting this bright pink plexiglass and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it makes it to where it doesn't feel like I don't know. It just, yeah, it makes it a little bit more bearable to spend all this time organizing my calendar and figuring out like, okay, what deadlines can I kind of combine? What things should I do first, second, all that. So,
Yeah, I got a bunch of workshops coming up, and I'm booking workshops into like next year.
oh wow.
And my wife was like, "How are you keeping track of all these?" I go, "I got it in my head." She's like, "Oh no, don't worry about it."
I mean, listen, that's awesome. And I do have a pretty good memory like that too, but I think it eases a lot of stress for me if I have a visual of it where it's written down. So it's like, I'm not worried about trusting my head to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
gives me a little bit of honestly peace of mind. Like, no, 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 I already worked this out. It's written down. This is the right thing I should be working on so that when I get to the studio, I'm not like, dude, I'm not supposed to be finishing these other things right now.
I had a podcast guest a few months ago, and I was home doing something in the studio, and all of a sudden I got a text, and they were like, "Hey, I'm here. Are you here?" I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "I'll be right there." Like I didn't put it on my calendar, and they were like, "Well, I've been waiting here." I was like, "Oh my god!" So now I'm like, every time I talk to somebody, it goes right on my calendar.
Yeah.
I love that thing they put on your when you get a bill. It's like you can add it to your Google Calendar. It says, "Tell me 3 days before it's due."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
The calendar, whatever, incorporation things where it just kind of auto.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Thank you, save me a late fee."
Yes, it's very, very that and like it'll do it with your flight info and stuff too.
But yeah,
Yeah.
check in a day early.
Yeah.
Where's Jeremiah today? Is he around?
Um,
Cool. Tell him I said hello. I was supposed to come down to Baltimore a few weeks ago, play golf with a guy who comes up here and plays my golf course. I was going to go visit him, and then I had so much. I hadn't even really been in the studio yet, and I was just jonesing to make stuff. And I called him up like the day before I was going to come. I said, I can't. I got too much going.
yeah, I get it. It's also, yeah, I don't know.
Do you get like frustrated when you're all you want to do is make something, and then life gets in the way, and all of a sudden you're like cranky? Like
Yeah.
I just want to be in the studio. Get out of my way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I also feel, I mean, I'm grateful for a lot of reasons to be here, but that is one thing that when I applied for this residency and, was hoping to get it and then got offered it, that was one thing I've been thinking about a lot is, okay, like, I want to continue to be able to have most of my time spent, as much time as possible spent in the studio. So that does mean, trying to transition more of my income to being from selling my work, which is scary, but it's also, I mean, I guess something that I've really been working on for a long time. And so, yeah, it's so funny when yeah, like there's always going to be things that come up that are also worth my time, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm teaching classes, and then this last week I was in DC house sitting for my sister and watching her dogs and her and her partner's dogs. And
Cool.
there's a studio in DC District A that I work at as a tech whenever I'm there.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's the best, most organized, just like greatest studio that has like a tech before. And I usually do like yard work or some kind of housework at my sister's. So like I put up a retaining wall, and it's like, yeah, it was stressful because I was like, man, I could really use this entire week in the studio. But then I got there and was like, this is actually kind of great. Yeah, building a retaining wall, I'm still getting to like use a lot of tools and make a thing. So sometimes
Yeah.
I am kind of, if I'm not in the studio, it's everything in my head. And so it's actually sometimes for me to like literally be forced to go do everything. And
Yeah, I think everything great needs a break. I mean, you need a break from no matter what it is. Uh, Hold on one second. I gotta let my cat out here. We have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and one cat weighs like 22 pounds. Yeah, he's a big boy, and he'll just look at you and go, "Meow," like really loud. This other cat, he won't say anything. He'll just kind of blurt out this little half of, "Meow." That's as much as he'll talk. But that he was just standing there going, "Dude, open the door."
that's so. Do they get along, the cats and the dogs?
Yeah, yep, yep. The one dog thinks the cats are toys, but they let him know that they're not.
That's good.
um, your plates inspire me. I love the big fat rims you put on the plates.
Yeah.
I just love how that looks. I do that on bowls sometimes just because I get a little bored of just a plain old rim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to put a big piece of slab on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. See, I want to add a big, yeah, see, I'm gonna make some plates today. Sometimes I'll roll out a slab on purpose because it makes me finish something.
Yeah.
Like I won't leave the studio if I got a big slab that I haven't finished.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think that that's a tactic for a good tactic for a lot of us. It's like, yeah, like prep something or leave something out so you
Yeah.
have to go back.
Yeah, reclaim. I do reclaim the same way. I'll put it out because then or all of a sudden at 9 o'clock I go, oh crap, I got to go wedge the reclaim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So these ones are kind of like that orange one I showed you earlier, but
yeah, I love it.
I usually do these with a really thick, like half-inch slab or sometimes even thicker. And then I'll also cut ones that are just the outline shape and not carve into them that are 3/8 inch thick. So that's what this is. But then I was like, oh, I could just do like little subtle relief or kind of less intense carving. So that's kind of fun. And then
Yeah, I love it.
the feet are like a whole nother, you know,
Yeah, it's a whole nother step.
yeah, and then talking about those big rims, they're round ones. So this clay is kind of uh it has a ton of grog in it. So it's a little when you bend it, it's a little
Yeah,
cracky.
rips. Yep.
I kind of like it. S-
Yeah.
For the round ones, when I bend that slab, I could totally cut them round. But when I go to, make it into that, it's just a strip of slab. When I turn it into a circle, I do get a lot of these tears, and I really like it. It's pretty fun. And I'll do little patches of like a texture.
Yeah. I actually have that written down here. Like the plate you have a picture of one of your plates and it's got like terracid stains on it.
Yeah,
I love that you leave that.
yeah,
Like the tears, leave it. Um,
yeah,
I love it. One of my plates has a rip in it also. Where the heck is it? It's got a rip right in the side. And right in the side, just leave it. It doesn't make it unfunctional.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think people that are especially new to clay are trying to make the perfect thing.
yeah,
I learned a long time ago that I can't make the perfect thing. Like I'm not a porcelain guy. No, I enjoy grog.
mhm, me too. Yeah, I really I think, yeah, I do think there's probably a reason we've ended up liking each other's pots for a
Yeah,
long time and neither of us knew it. But because well, first of all, I love red clay. It's like, I just love it.
yeah. I just got new red clay.
Ooh,
I had to
the-
switch.
you're using the Brooklyn red? That's what this is.
Yeah, I can see that. I got 22 boxes of it right there. You should have
Yeah.
seen me. I went and picked up 1,000 cars, 1,000 pounds in my cars, like
You're like,
just scraping on the way home.
yeah, I don't think my car would have
You
fit
know,
them.
I had to switch clay bodies, and it was like, when I first called my guy and he said, I don't know if I have enough clay for you. I said, what are you talking about? I've been getting the clay from you for 15 years. And I
Yeah.
was like all torn. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And then I got the Brooklyn red and I actually like it better.
Oh, really?
I really do. Yeah.
What was the one you were using before?
I was using Junior Tile Red from Alfred,
Okay. Yeah.
which is like, it's made only for Alfred, this clay. I mean, I have the recipe, I can make it, but
Mhm.
They would just buy pallets at a time, and I went to Alfred, and I got friends there, so I would go down and pick up a bunch, and I would get it cheap because as an ex-student, I still get a discount.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was like I'd save $7 a box.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
is what
yeah.
it is. But I do think the Brooklyn Red, even though I don't glaze a lot, the pieces that I am glazing, the Brooklyn Red it holds the glaze better than the other stuff did.
Yeah.
So I'm having fun.
Yeah, I really like it, and it's a fair amount of gray, like, you can kinda see it for anyone that is
Yeah,
usually about these things with, like, I don't know how that's visible there, but, like,
yeah.
all that, like, there's a let me sh move this light.
I thought I was gonna have to add grog to it.
Yeah, I at first I did too, but it feels so maybe plastic or something out of the bag.
Yeah,
You start working with it and you're like, "Oh, there's actually a good amount of grog in here." This one is the, basically sculpture counterpart. This one. So I know it doesn't look as red, but it's literally just called sculpture red.
yeah. That's the 547.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do I have anything that's
I have some of that. I actually just got a bag of Starworks Red as well. Starworks down in North Carolina.
yeah.
My uncle's wife is Lydia Thompson. I don't know if you know who Lydia is, but you should look up her sculptural work. Is
I
really
forget
cool.
who that is, but
She
I will
makes really cool stuff. She's doing a residency down there, so she called me and said, "Hey, you want some clay?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So my uncle brought it up for Thanksgiving.
nice.
You, you know what else I've been messing with? The 266 Umbria, the black clay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, it's kind of fun.
So, and you're doing mid-range too, right?
Hmm.
Okay. And that I really been wanting to do like a dark brown with some black clay. But
Yep.
some of them there's a little more off-gassing issues or kind of like are you only taking it to 5?
No, I go to 6.
Okay.
I really only go to 6 because my liner glaze is a 6. But this black clay, it's just really fun to mess with.
Yeah.
This clay is actually my old clay, but I color it with black terracige. So
Cool.
that's actually the where it's ground. I grind it on the bottom. It comes through.
Yeah.
So that's actually just shined up with diamond pads.
Yeah.
So what I'm probably going to do is do this effect with black clay. So when I grind it, you can't tell.
Yep, that's what I was doing before I found clay that I liked that actually fired a nice red, is I was just putting a red terrasigillata on everything. So, like, I'm pretty sure that's what this is.
Yeah, is that like Newman's red or?
Yeah, this is a red art stage.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, this fires real bright. And that was on like a red, well, it wasn't, it was It was a clay I was mixing in grad school. It was a real simple, it's like Red Art, Hawthorne, EPK, and Ford, you know, with not over much green in it. But it flares like a dark tan in oxidation in reduction and go red. So I was putting a stage on it and man, switching to a red clay that actually fires a pretty red without a sage on it and cutting out that step, not gonna lie, it helps. Like I love using the red sage and I still do sometimes, but not having to do that on anywhere where I wanted to leave the red clay has made a difference.
Yeah, the Brooklyn red fires off really nice, actually. I wonder if I have
Mhm.
a done piece. And that's one of the things I like about it as well, is that when it fires, it's more red than it is tan. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, I don't have a piece done in here. Yeah, no kidding. My wife's doing a holiday sale right now. The golf course that I run is like 3 blocks from my house.
Okay.
And we're closed, obviously, in the winter because we're getting 6 inches of snow today. But each year she does a huge holiday sale and it's all local artists. There's probably 30 or 40 artists. And so
Yeah.
she's got a ton of work down there of mine. I
Yeah.
put everything super cheap this time of year.
Yeah.
It's tough. Selling stuff is tough.
It is. It's hard. It's something like I am with it. I think we all have different sort of maybe levels of experience or even comfort with that side of it too. Just like in general, the commerce side of it, but then also the whole idea of like marketing your work. And it's a lot. So it's, I mean, it's whole other,
But yeah, I'm doing a shop update on Friday.
yeah,
And so, like I said, I did a whole run of these red cups because I think people are gonna like them. So I'll put a bunch out there. And
very nice.
I took like 40 pictures yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go through and put all those onto the website, and
Yeah,
I need an assistant,
I
Demi.
right? Yeah. I'm always joking with Hadley with my dog. I'm like, yeah, you gotta learn how to use the computer or like, I don't know, the kilns, something, man.
Yeah, you're like, what am I feeding you for, man? Help me out.
Yeah, he's snoozing on his little bed back there now.
Well, I mean, even at like I got to Flower City Pottery Invitational there, and I used to go to that show back in the day and be like, it was really kind of mind blowing to me and humbling to be invited with so many amazing artists that were there.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then the first, I was like, oh, I'm gonna sell out, you know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cold and rainy the first day,
Mm-hmm.
and not many people came out, and I was like kind of discouraged. So the last day, I just put a sign up 50% off all my pots.
Dang.
Yeah, and yeah, I sold a ton, but
Yeah.
I hope it didn't piss off any of the other artists that were there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, I got to get rid of stuff, man. I'm running out of space in my studio, and if I got a bowl that I want $200 for, and somebody wants to give me 100 for it, fine, take it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold out and try to you know, force people to pay me what I want for my work. It's like,
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I think, I don't know, that stuff was always hard when you're in like, I don't know, group show setting or like, there's multiple people selling work in the same location. It's hard, but I guess now after being in however many whatever scenarios like that, I think it's just like, yeah, just everybody just do your thing. It's like for you, your priority was getting that work to move and to find a new home that's not your studio shelf, which is that's what we all want, you know?
yeah,
Well, and it's like, maybe for somebody else, it's like, dude, I need to try to make as much money as possible, and I still got a lot of other stuff that I need inventory for. And it's like, yeah, then for them, whatever.
yeah, I need the space. I need the space in my studio,
Yeah,
and I had a new clay. So I was like, I'm not even going to be using this clay anymore. Yeah, we were talking earlier about all the show things you got coming up, and I remember John Gill. Do you know John Gill?
yeah,
I was talking to him a long time ago. Actually, he came to my studio when I first started one time, and I was like, "Oh God, please don't look at everything." And he said, you got a knack for this, man. You should keep doing it." So it was nice to hear that from him.
yeah. That's great.
But he said to me, he said, "Don't make pieces for a show. Select pieces for a show."
Yeah,
So that always made me feel like, all right, I'm just going to keep making stuff. And when somebody says, hey, want to be in the show? I'll go, sure. You can have this one, and this one, rather than going, oh my God, because then if I'm making something for a show, it
hmm,
takes the freedom of making it out of it. And that's what that's why people like our stuff. It's the freedom in it.
yeah, true. Yeah, one thing I that's pretty nice is like, unless it's a really kind of specific invitational, like there's a where is it? Baltimore Clayworks, right?
But yeah. Hmm.
I am sending a teapot to their teapot show coming up here.
Yep.
So like that's maybe a little bit more specific, right? But it's still just like it's a teapot. So I can do whatever I want within those parameters. But a lot of these galleries are like, hey, do you want to be a part of our holiday exhibition? Send us whatever 6 to 15, whatever they say, pieces. And then it's like, okay, cool. And then yeah, you make a bunch of stuff, pick and choose what feels good together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to, but it's true. It's like, I do think Jeremiah Ibarra and I have had a lot of conversations about this because I think he's been thinking about that a lot. It's like, how do you keep making things in a way that does feel, I don't know, maybe free or sort of like you're doing what you really want to in the studio
Hmm.
while also getting things done, I guess.
Yeah. Or while having people want them.
And I don't know, in some ways it kind of made me realize like, oh, I guess I feel really lucky that those two things are kind of the same for me. Like I really do love making pots. And so for me, when someone's like, hey, can you sit with like the 10 pots and you're like, sweet, and you're like, just make whatever pots I want to make, you know? So I do feel lucky. Maybe there's enough of that that crosses over or something, you know? But yeah, it's like, I do think where for me, where it comes in play that it's a little bit more than battle, it's just like, I take the long on everything, but I do have to sometimes stress about think about like, okay, are there ways where I could make this to the end result? And it's like I feel like that's the version of how that shows up for me. Is like, okay, well, you know, like for example, these things, like this one bowl took me an entire day. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily like you know?
Yeah. So if you were going to put a price on that for an entire day's worth of work, you're looking at $175,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So and that's the thing too I've been slowly working on is just trying to increase my prices because it's for me it's a little nerve wracking honestly, but you know just
Yeah.
trying to keep at it I guess.
I actually sent some mugs to a gallery, and the guy who runs it's a friend of mine. He messaged me, are you sure the prices are right on these mugs? I was like, wait, what do you mean, man?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, sure. Sell them for whatever you want. I mean, if you don't think they're going to sell at that price, then sell them for less. I don't care.
I would have assumed he meant you priced them low.
No,
Really?
no, it was the other way around. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I when you said $75 for your mugs earlier, I'm like, I think that's very reasonable for the amount of time and then number of layers and
Yeah.
the things. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think I honestly, with pricing as one of those things that it's hard. When
Yeah. These
people,
are all going to be on my website for $60.
dang, yeah, see, that's, I can't believe that that's cheap. That's
That's
very,
that's a, yeah. And
and it's also like you're saying too, it doesn't make sense and it really isn't, I guess, maybe fair even to think about it in a amount of time way. Because that's not even, it's
no.
like, okay, well, if it's just that, then where's you? And it's like, okay, well, but also everything you've done leading up to making this, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
for some people that be grad school or it might be not whatever it is. It's like
Yeah.
it is also because it's your hands and your heart and your head making the thing, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like the collection that I have, like I want to say, oh, that's a Demi Dehmlow piece, man. That's badass. Or like I get mugs from people and I'm like, oh, that's so and so. And it means a lot that it came from those people. They made that with their hands. It's so cool.
It really is. I
Yeah.
know. It's good to talk about these things and remind yourself of this stuff when you have those bad days or yeah, when you're stressed about deadlines. Cause it's like, yeah, it's pretty incredible to honestly just be connected and to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much time we have left or what else I should probably here. I'll show you so if we're talking about stiff slabs. This is kind of a combo. So this will be a pitcher. I gotta add a handle. I can't decide yet if I'm gonna do like two handles.
Double handle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like those watering cans.
No, I like the tall mugs you had with the double handles.
Yeah. So I actually had an entire kiln of stuff. It like overfired. Like this was like right when I got here. So I don't have any that are finished right now that I'm not did, but I have it's kind of crazy. You see all that loading.
Yeah.
This was a reclaim bucket, so like who knows what all clays I had in there. So that's also part of it. But yeah, the double handles, I love it. It's so fun. And I like that it echoes some of these,
Yeah, absolutely.
you
Yeah,
know.
I love it. Yeah. I really love that you use some glaze, some of this, some of that, like like
Yeah.
I got Terry Sidge under there and I got some
Yeah. Oh, that's
this this was oh, there you go in the back. Just make a stroking coat, and I wanted to see what it was doing over the black. So I'm like, let's just try everything on this.
yeah. It's really I think that is one thing too that kind of opened things up for me is even thinking back to when we were talking about the texture tools, how sometimes it feels like there's this weird, I don't know if it's a stigma or something about like, oh, you gotta make it yourself, which I definitely understand that. And I do think that for some people that is really inherent to their practice and kind of the way they're operating. But I think for me, like basically having this essentially like almost like a painter's palette or a library of all these different things that I can just kind of like bloop, bloop, bloop together. That's what for me, it's like if it, let's say I make 10 mugs, they're all going to be a little different or, you know, a bunch of watering cans, whatever. It allows me to really feel like I'm getting to build things in that sort of individual way that I enjoy. And it's the same with the glazes, because for a long time, I really was just using the sidges for the colors and
Mhm.
a liner glaze. For a long time, I was doing washes and then clear over it, so it would pull the wash. And then in Lawrence, that residency, they give you a stipend and some money for, I think they called it professional development. And so I started buying I used that money to buy box clay because that facility didn't have a clay mixer. And honestly, I was like, dude, my life has changed not having to mix clay. Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, it was incredible. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna try some of these funky commercial glazes. Oh, I always forget what they call them. These
Yeah, you told me about the Shino the one time.
yeah, yeah. And these Mako Amico has a version too,
Mhm.
I think. But
Yeah.
you're
I
like
think I messaged you and you were like, "Oh, that's this one. It's the Shino in a bottle." Yeah, I have some of that.
the Cone Sixtinos,
Yeah.
and this one is one of the ones that it has the like chunks of another glaze in it. I think I can't remember what company makes them, that they call them like jingle gems or something.
Mhm.
That's what these are. These glazes that do the crazy spotting thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I have all these Mako strike and coat colors, initial glaze colors, and I think it's similar for you because the glazes that I'm mixing up are the ones I'm using for a liner. And then all the commercial glazes that I have in all these crazy different colors, it really feels like I get to treat this like a painting and I get to, you know, layer this and that.
Yes.
And man, that opened things up so much for me. And I don't know if I would have, honestly, mostly because of like finance wise, like buying commercial, it's just not a thing that I was ever like, "Oh, this is a good way to go about it." And you know, just kind of it's great how little things like that can just open up.
Yeah, and I think then when you know you have all these different types of different ways to decorate, you start making pieces to
Yeah,
the decoration, right? Like now you're going to leave yourself some more surface area because you got ideas on how to play with it.
yeah, absolutely.
I love that piece.
Thanks. Yeah, so these ones we were talking about stiff slab construction. I don't know, sorry, I don't know how much time they've like, but I one thing I really like to do is kind of like start with the softer, well, start with like cut out the shape, and then when it's like soft leather hard, kind of puff it out and then wait till it's stiff and then stick it together. So like these ones,
Yeah. The hardest part is waiting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had another one that I made like this that I actually shipped to Companion for their holiday show that was this shape. And dude, it broke in shipping. I know. They like, damn it. They're gonna ship it back to me and I'm gonna try to glue it and somehow reinforce it and probably give it to one of my family members that really likes, you know, to use things for flowers. And because I'm like, dude, I don't want anybody taking on holding that handle. But anyways, so what I did is I actually do this a lot, is I'll draw basically just like the profile or silhouette of the pot and make it into a template. And then a lot of my forms end up literally being like two of a shape. But I like, so you can kind of see with this slab, yeah, once it's stiffened up, I will really just take it and bend it with my hands and kind of puff it out, right? And then once it's really stiff leather hard, stick those together, and then, you know, slab gets added there. So like that's, I mean, that's what this is too. It's just an envelope basically. So
I really like the rounded base too, kind of like the teetery base.
Yeah, and once the weight of that handle's on there, it'll sit,
Yeah, sit back. Yeah,
which is also I didn't even think about this when I was designing it, but it's pretty great because it's stable because it's 3 points that are touching.
yeah,
And, well, it's like,
solid. Yeah, I like the overlap of the slab togetherness. You just kind of flattened it out too. I love that it creates a crease.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it really that was for a long time I was really struggling with everything feeling overly tight or kind of really almost. And I was like, I gotta find a way to bring the clay back into this in the sense of like, it's really a plastic responsive, smushy material. And so that's when I kind of started doing this, wrapping the slab up around the bottom. And then things like this, where I literally will put a coil down, I'll slip and score, my 2 parts, and then put a coil where they're going to attach and just smush them together. So I get some, I don't know, just like a different from the clay, right? That's not,
Yeah, and I love the visual look of the maker's marks.
yeah.
Leave the chunk in there. Leave where you nicked it.
Mhm.
I made a bowl this morning.
Yeah, or like I've always loved the finger dips when you dip things. I know what a lot of people have strong feelings about that, but I really love leaving like the
I
look.
love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd my white one go? Where'd it go? I just found it. I do that on purpose.
Yeah, me too. Yes. Yeah, I noticed that one. When it's a
This
nice bowl.
bowl I mean's got a chunk right in the rim of it, and I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
I might actually go around and make more chunks.
Yeah.
Now
One.
that I think about it.
Yep, because then whatever you put on there will kind of break or move over them in a way that'll, well, I guess for both of us, we're using stuff that's intentionally enhancing or exaggerating. And like, that's why I like sidges, is because, slips, stained slips or whatever else are great too. But for me, they're too thick because they'll cover up, I don't know how well you can see, but like those scratch marks in the clay. So yeah. And actually this clay is smoother than what the Brooklyn Red than what I was using. And so there's less of those scratch marks. So I actually will go in sometimes and literally just add some.
Yeah, and scratches. Yeah, 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 absolutely. And you go in different directions. It's kind of like this. So this is the rasp. I love rasping my mugs. For a bunch of reasons. One, I just love the texture, but two, it also takes a ton of weight off. I can make as light as I want, but then the terracige kind of like it gets thick and thin where it's brushed.
Yeah.
I'm just loving it. Like we talked earlier about informing the next piece, like this light blue, and then this is the pink terracige underneath. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I see this as, like you said, this whole thing is a painting, and I can't wait to do something like this on this.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what it's going to be.
I love all the colors and stuff you're using. Yeah.
I'm hoping the mic works out good here. I had to keep messing with that. I'm going to call them when we're done. We're almost done. We're almost at an hour and a half. We just got started.
I know, right?
Dang it.
Yeah.
So were you at Belger Crane Arts?
I was at,
You did the show there.
yeah, Belger's in Kansas City.
Yes.
And then the Lawrence Art Center is where I did the residency, and it's a year long. And then I stuck around for another year in Lawrence because I liked it. But Belger and Kansas City and Lawrence are only like, I don't know, 45 minutes or something without traffic, maybe more like an hour. But Belger's great. That gallery has I guess I've been selling stuff consistently since starting at Lawrence Art Center. But yeah, they've got a good setup. And
Yeah, I've heard great things. I want to go teach there. Actually, a lady who took my workshop at Aramont was
yeah,
from Belger. She said, "Oh, I'll talk to so and so. We'll get you a workshop." Okay, cool. And I never heard anything.
that's great. Yeah, I love how many workshops you're doing. I have not done many workshops. That's the thing.
I love it.
Really-
It's so fun.
Hopefully in the next couple of years, I'm hoping to kind of get that, I don't know, get that going a little bit.
It's the most fun. Have you been to Aramont?
I haven't actually.
Yeah. See,
No.
Aramont's just great. There's a thing I went to Aramon in 2023 from a thing called Pentaculum, where it's like an invitational. Someone asked me, "Hey, have you ever been?" I said, "Nope." They said, "Want to go?" I said, "Yep." And it was just, I fell in love. It's just, they have like a dining center. So it's like
Yeah.
you go to sleep, you have breakfast, you work in the studio, you have lunch, you work in the studio, and you go to bed. And then you go to sleep,
Yes. Yeah.
like I love it. That's all I want to do.
Yep. I know. Well, everybody that I know that has been there has lived it. I'm really good friends with Sam Oliver. You know Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, actually, she does a lot more at Pinland, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I worked at Anderson Ranch for a year as an intern.
Cool.
Really, because I was pre-med in undergrad and I was an art major. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to DO school or med school. And closer I got to graduating, the more it was like, it's hard to put into words. Honestly, it was like, the in a kind of a cheesy way. Like I can't imagine not doing this with most of my time. And then it was also like I have to do it. Like I can't not do it. Like I think that's one thing that one of my undergrad professors, Sanam and Mommy, used to talk about is like she used to always tell us, don't do this unless you have to. Which at the time I was like, dang dude, that's harsh. Like that's intense. But now it's like I get what she meant. It's like it is hard and it's gonna pull on you and stretch you in ways that you don't maybe are not prepared for. But I mean that's also life. But it's just like I couldn't not do it. Like
Yeah. That's interesting. I was talking to my friend Marshall about that too. Is like, I don't have to make pots. I can't not make pots.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
That's how I knew I loved it. And I tell my wife that all the time. I'll come down here into the studio at 8 o'clock in the morning,
yep,
and I don't even know what time it is. All of a sudden it's dark.
I know.
I'm just lost in what I'm doing,
Yep,
which to me tells me I love it and I need to do it.
yes.
Otherwise I wouldn't do it.
We know, right? I think about that a lot too, because I've moved all over and it's one of those things where it's like, if there are probably 20 reasons that would be good enough right now for me to have been like, okay, I'm ready to, I don't know, take a step back, something, whatever. And it's just like, even saying that out loud, it's like loud, I can feel it in my body. I'm like, nope. Like, yeah, as hard as is like really honestly like terrible certain seasons have been. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. You show up in the studio and the only way out is through. And then all of a sudden you're still here. And it's like, yeah, wait, hold on. I lost you.
There we go. That's why I got to the point where I kind of resent my job. Like I have to go to work. And then towards the end of the golf season, when it's like October and it's getting cold out, and then it's like 40 degrees and raining and people are playing golf, I'm like, what are you doing here? I just want to go home. I just want to
Yeah,
make pots.
that's fair.
Someday I will find a way to do it as a living, but
Well, I mean, honestly, I I feel like I don't know that I knew that that's what you did, but I knew you did something else. But like looking at your Instagram and all these other cool things that you're up to with like this podcast and stuff, it's like I'm in my mind, I'm like, you are full time in the studio. You're just also, which I do think that that's true for a lot of us, which is the other hard part of it, right? Is it's like
yeah,
all kind of hustling in some way, which I don't know. It's just
yeah.
hard.
I mean, if you're not hustling, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well,
Well, darn it. This is awesome. I want to come make pots with you so bad.
no, me too. That'd be great.
I
Well,
know.
if you're up for it, I might reach out to you at some point and pick your brain about workshops and yeah, just kind of getting started with trying to connect to different places.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anytime. I know a lot of people at Aramont, so let me know.
Yeah,
I'll get you in there pretty quick. My friend Taria is teaching the class there next year. I actually talked to Sam Chumley last night. He was episode 2, I think. He's the manager down there. You know Sam?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've met him.
He's a good dude. Him and I swapped. I made him a jar and he made me a pin.
Oh my, that is incredible.
Isn't that fantastic?
I love it.
It's got a hot dog and a grenade on it.
That's the best thing.
Like he gave it to me in Ensika and I was walking around with it like this.
Yeah,
Like, oh my,
absolutely.
I love this thing.
Did you fly to Ensika? Did you carry that thing on the plane with you? I would have.
Yeah, hell yeah. Are you going to Ensika?
Yeah. Yeah. So I will be. I'm doing a shop update like you are too, but listen, my website, she needs some real work. So I'm kind of simultaneously trying to do that. So it'll probably be like mostly I get the kind of sale page up and then the
Mhm.
parts are still a little under construction. And then in Sika, I'm in CXC or Crisscross.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we do. So it's a collective and we do a pop-up every year.
Yep.
So then that pop-up. And then, Good Habit Pottery.
Yeah.
I have work at their gallery as well, and they've actually started doing a pop-up. So I won't physically be at that one, but my work will be. So yeah, I'm excited for Nsika. If you're there, yeah.
What was her name that was on the show a few weeks ago? She started the Silica Sluts. They do a pop-up.
Well, yeah,
She was just 2 episodes ago. Can't remember.
there's so many.
Yeah, it's so many the pop-ups are taking over, which is cool.
I
I'm
yeah,
psyched for it. I think I might be demoing at a booth or 2.
cool.
Um, yeah, we'll see. I was thinking about I almost got a booth and just did podcasts, which would be fun, just live.
That
Yeah,
would be real cool.
yeah, just like sitting there going, "Hey, you come here, come talk to me." And just here's a microphone. Let's shoot the shit,
Like, hey, do you have enough name? Yeah.
Well, I was gonna go like through the official channels of Nsika and try to get into podcast room and stuff. Oh my God, you had to write like a book.
I know, it's really complicated. I
Like,
know.
what are you gonna talk about? Clay? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's what's hard is I do think a lot of people when they're filling out that stuff for Nsika, they're like, okay, we just have to like kind of make up. I mean, that sounds bad, but it's like they
Yeah.
need it with stuff when you're for like the shows too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I appreciate that side of ceramics, the kind of academia,
Like,
sculptural stuff.
yeah,
But at the same time, I don't have anything like for this jar. You know what I mean? Like, how do I explain my feelings when I was making this jar? Oh no, I made a jar.
no, get
It's
it.
not world changing. It's a cool piece. I don't know. I can't make that stuff up. It's kind of like some of the artist statements.
I know, it's really hard. It actually, well, I guess that's one thing that I kind of similar to what I was talking about with feeling like I was trying to, I don't know, fit all my ideas or make everything happen or work within each piece, if that makes sense. I think a similar thing, it felt similar with artist statements, and especially, in grad school, because that's like so much of what you're thinking about and working on is how to not only talk about your work, but your goals and like
Yeah.
that in a way that feels, I guess, maybe authentic or even accurate for you. I mean, as well, yeah, you as a person and as an artist. And I got to a point where I was just like, dude, I feel like I'm writing about these objects in ways. It just felt like I was describing a thing that people could already see. It's like, bro, you don't need me to tell you that that's blue. Like, and that makes it. I'm not saying that's what artist statements do at all, but that's what it felt like to me. So what I started doing instead is one day I sat down, I was like, I'm just going to write. And I started writing about my work as if it were a short story. So I started incorporating Headley. There's another dog. One's that
She didn't have to mute it. Come on back. It's just a doggy barking. We'll figure out why this is doing that. Did you mute yours?
yes, I wasn't sure how loud he was gonna get.
He's fine.
Come here, baby. Come here,
Well,
baby.
on my Instagram, like on my thing up top, it says my work meets in the space between functionality and me having fun.
I love that so much. I was telling Jeremiah because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on Mike's podcast or whatever," and I was like, "Dude, have you read his little Instagram bio thing? Every time I see it, I'm like, oh my god, that's the whole statement. That's the
That's fantastic.
needs to say like,
Well, you know where I got that from? I got that because I read somebody's artist statement one time and it said my work meets in the space between stillness and movement. And
mm,
what does that even mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't get it. I mean, I understand you're trying to sound deep. You know what I mean? You got to like write this paragraph to put under your painting. I want to make something that I had fun making and you're going to use it. That's it.
Yep. No, I get it. I think that's why I started writing about my work the way that I guess try to do now, but just basically making it read like a short story. So I'll actually incorporate like other short stories of mostly, honestly, my experiences as a caregiver. And then I don't know, because it's like, dude, yeah, I just don't want to be trying to explain, like
Yeah.
that's felt.
It's a mug.
So, I'm not saying that, that way of writing things, I think that for a lot of people, they are really able to say
There's
what
a place for it. Yeah.
they need to. But for me, I just always felt like, yeah, but like, I just feel like it's missing the point somehow. I don't know. So that's another way of similar to kind of what we were talking about is, I guess my tip is like, just kind of lean into what works for you, like lean into how you're wired and what you like, and just keep trying that in different ways, and you'll keep finding things that click. And it's like, if you look at everybody making work, there's no one way to do it. And I think that's probably the people that we get really excited about the stuff that they're making is because it's so true to or specific to them, right? So it's like, just lean into whatever thing that makes you want to keep going. Keep
Yeah,
me.
do what you like. That's kind of a common theme on the show here. So many, I would say 85% of the artists that have been on here have said that too. Just keep making stuff. You're going to develop your style. You're going to get better with the medium. You're going to make heavy, clunky, ugly things. Everybody does. The good stuff will come. Just keep making stuff.
Yeah, and like it's not too weird, it's not too this. Like even for me, this is maybe might be a simple example, but those banners that were in the show that you mentioned, the I'm still here. So those are, fabric words, letters that I've cut out and sewn to a fabric background. And I started doing those when I was in Utica, and that was probably one of the worst years of my life. I had such a hard time. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I had to find a way to keep going. So I just started making those bangers, and
Yeah.
it made me, I was able to like do something with all the things that were happening, feeling. And then in Lawrence, I was like, well, maybe I should just write on. And I had this thing in my head that like, oh, you're not supposed to write on pots. You're not supposed to put text on pots. And then I thought about it one day and I was like, why
Yeah.
telling myself that? And so then I started just writing some of the things that I have in my short
Love it.
stories or in my banners on the pots, and it's vulnerable. Like it's pretty vulnerable stuff that I'm
Yeah.
writing here.
Did you write that with underglaze afterwards or carve it?
I took a sgraffito tool and did it through the sidge, and I just try to do it like pretty much right after the sidge is dry to the touch, because you know how things get kind of flaky if you wait too long. And I was worried. I was like, are people gonna think this is weird? And man, uh I had some of the coolest conversations with people when at that in Sika that I brought the first time I brought pots like this, and people reading it and saying like, I have thought this, I have felt this so many times. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like
Wow.
for that to be a thing that I made, even
Wow. Yeah.
in my life, it created a moment like that for someone to feel seen. It's like, dude, oh my gosh, my work here is done.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just feel like that's kind of an example of like, well, why not? Like, why not do this thing that I like doing just in another way?
There's Lady. She wanted to say hi.
My goodness, hello, baby.
Hello, Lady.
She's so cute.
She's fun. She's so smart. She's dumb. She's she's an Aussie doodle. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say that out loud. She's a good dog.
Yeah, he's on his back. It's very rainy today and he does not like it. He's not happy. But here, Hatters, you're gonna say hello.
Hi, buddy. Hi, honey. You want to say hi to Lady? She's over there. Look at her. Go. Wonder if they see each other. He's like, I'm sleeping.
I know. And he's one of those dogs.
We got her during COVID, and we got her because our other dog's getting pretty old. And we're like, well, maybe we'll get her and they can play together and make her feel young again. I think all it did was piss her off. She's like, this is my space, you know?
I've kind of wanted a second dog, and yeah, it's funny.
All right. So that you gave us your tip already.
Yeah.
So as we end, you tell us where your website and where people can buy your work.
Okay. Yeah, so for up until, well, I guess now I had been using Etsy online, but like I said, I'm working on getting a actual storefront up on my website, which is just demi.art actually. But I have a link tree on my Instagram right now that if you go to it, it has all of the basically links to the different galleries where I sell my work, if that makes sense. So if you go on there and click, for example, the Build Your Art link, it'll bring you to like my page on Build Your Art's website. And then Instagram, my Instagram is just Demdem, Dehm, but that's really where I'm like the most frequently updating people about what I have going on or where I might be selling work. And then pretty soon here after this next glaze firing that I get out, I have some pots downstairs in the clay studio shop, but I'll have some more. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. I love your work. I look forward to meeting you. I'll see you in Isika.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll have to chat some more. If you want to talk about workshops and stuff, just shoot me a text. Give me a call. Yeah. And I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have
Thanks.
fun today.
Yeah, me too.
See ya.
Well, to see more of your work in your studio.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll hit stop here. You got to hang it there.